Hello there, I'm Jacob, and welcome to Fireplace Reading. And today we will be reading Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Big Shot. September, Monday. I've heard that athletes are born with special genes that make them good at sports. Well, whatever those genes are, I guess I was born without them. Mom's always saying that everyone who's part of a team has an important role to play, but when it comes to sports, it seems like my job is to make everybody else look good. Whack. Ugh. At this point in my life, I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna grow up to become a professional athlete, so I'm officially announcing my retirement. The crazy thing is, I used to actually like sports, but that was back in preschool, when sports were still fun. The first sport I ever played was soccer. I didn't know the rules, but neither did any of the other kids, so most of the time it was just pure chaos on the field. Wherever the ball went, we chased after it. Every once in a while, the ball would pop out of the pack and go into someone's goal, and then everyone would celebrate. Nobody kept score, so we never knew who was winning or losing, and the parents didn't care because they were too busy doing their own thing. The referees were middle school kids, and they didn't really pay attention to the game either. In fact, the refs didn't even blow their whistles when the ball went out of bounds, so half the time we'd be playing on the wrong field and didn't know it. After the game, we'd always get slushies and junk food at the snack shack, and sometimes we wouldn't even wait for the game to be over to treat ourselves. The coaches were really nice and made sure everyone got a chance to score, and that made everyone feel good about themselves. Yay! Back then, I was sure I was going to grow up to be a professional soccer player. I even kept my rookie card in mint condition in case it turned out to be worth something one day. But when we got to kindergarten, everything changed. The refs started using their whistles, and they didn't let us do the kinds of things we got away with the year before. That season, the refs blew their whistles almost every time I touched the ball. So when I was in the game, I'd stand in the corner of the field and pray the ball didn't roll to me. It's not like I was getting a lot of playing time in kindergarten anyway. The coach only put in the kids that were good, and the rest of us sat on the bench. Mom told me the reason the coach wasn't playing me was because I was his secret weapon, and he was saving me for a big moment. But I didn't understand that Mom was just trying to make me feel better about myself. So whenever the coach did put me in the game, I'd go out there thinking I was hot stuff. Even the snack shack wasn't fun that year. The parents complained that they were selling too much junk food, so they replaced the slushies and other sugar treats with healthy options. But the slushy sales from the snack shack paid for the field upkeep, so that year, the parks department could only afford to mow the grass once every 3 weeks, which really slowed the game down. After a bunch of kids got tick bites from playing soccer in the long grass, they decided to end the season early, which was totally fine with me. Youch! I feel bad that I've never been good at sports, because I think Dad was hoping I'd be a star athlete. Whenever he'd go to the library, he'd always come home with a stack of sports books. I'm sure there are kids who are into those types of stories, but that was never me. The winner, Todd Fredrich. A kid named Champ. Colin Nixdorf. If you go to the library, you find all sorts of books about kids who do amazing things and lead their teams to victory. But I've never had any experiences like that, and I'll bet there are a lot of kids out there just like me. So one of these days, somebody should write a book for the rest of us. It's not like I've got anything against sports. I like them just fine, as long as I'm not the one playing. In fact, this summer I watched the Olympics on TV pretty much non-stop. It was Mom's idea for us to watch the games as a family. She says that these days everyone is in their own little bubble, and sport is one of the only things that can still bring people together. But I think a little togetherness goes a long way. Mom says she loves the Olympics because they show what human beings are capable of at their best. But I like watching for the bloopers. Snap. Ugh! I'm just glad it's somebody else out there, not me, because I'm sure I'd be nervous if I knew there were millions of people watching me from home, and when you mess up in the Olympics, you're supposed to act graceful about it. But if I just spent 4 years of my life training and then made some dumb mistake, I'm pretty sure I'd have some trouble smiling for the cameras. Javelin throw. Foot fault. Disqualified. That's why I do one of those sports while you're a part of a team, because then, when you screw up, it's harder for people to tell. 4-man bobsleigh. Mind if I squeeze in with you, fellas? In fact, if I was in the Olympics, I'd be in one of those events where a horse is involved. Because then, if something goes wrong, at least you'd have someone to blame. Things were going great until Thunderbolt heel screwed up. Equestrian. But now that I think about it, that's probably the reason why horses sometimes play up. Kapow! Even though we watched a lot of Olympics coverage, I still don't understand the way everything works. For one thing, I don't see why they only hand out medals for the athletes who take the top 3 spots in a competition. It seems to me like they should keep going with the medals so everyone goes home with a prize. 15th place, aluminium medal, Greg Heffley. The way it is right now, they give you a gold medal if you take first place, silver if you take second, and bronze if you take third. But I feel like there's a pretty big step down between silver and bronze. At least gold and silver are worth something, but if you want a bronze medal, you'll be lucky to get a few bucks for it. Pawn shop. We buy jewelry, rare coins, watches. Absolutely no refunds. I figured the moment your medal is most valuable is right after you win it. So, if I got one, I try to take an adventure of the TV audience and find a buyer. This dazzling medal can be yours to own. Series offers only. Live, Greg Heffley, first-time medalist. During the medal ceremony, they have the top 3 athletes stand on a podium, and then they play the gold medalist's national anthem and make the other 2 athletes stand there and listen. But if I took silver and bronze, I'd pop in some earbuds and just jam to my own tunes. One of my favorite things about the Olympics is when they tell the life stories of the athletes who are competing. Some of the stories are really inspiring because a lot of these athletes have to overcome tough challenges to get where they are. But if I ever made it to the Olympics, my story wouldn't be all that inspirational. What? Greg Heffley. Parents make him play sports. Mom keeps telling me that one day I could be an Olympian, and I should start my Olympic journey now. But I'm pretty sure it's already too late for me. For most sports, you have to start playing really young if you want to be good. So even if I got serious, I'm sure I'd be competing with kids who are half my age. I've heard that in some countries they identify kids with potential super early, and they send them off to these elite academies to train around the clock. I really don't think there's any hope for me of becoming an Olympian, but my brother Manny is only in preschool, so maybe he's still got a shot. I'm not an expert on this stuff or anything, but from what I've seen, the kid looks like he's got potential. To be honest, I wouldn't mind if Mom and Dad shipped Manny off to one of those sports academies, because that would be one less person to have a shared bathroom with. But maybe there are some sports that you can start when you're a little older, and there's still hope for a person like me, because it would be pretty cool to represent your country as an Olympian, no matter what sport you compete in. And if I win a gold medal, you'd bet I never take it off. When you win a gold medal, you're set up for life. And even when your Olympic career is over, you can still make a fortune doing appearances and signing stuff. We'll not sign body parts, no selfies please, but the real money's in advertising products on TV. And I'd say yes to everything as long as the money was good. No chalky residue! Sports stick, deodorant. The best thing about being an athlete is that you can retire young, and that would be great for a person like me, because there are lots of places I'd like to visit and things I'd like to see. So, I'm not going to give up on sport just yet, because who knows, maybe I could be a person everyone looks up to. High dive, first attempt.